Hi, and welcome to our video of a trip to Berlin at Christmas, captured on our visit in 2018. If you like what you see, then why not subscribe so you can keep up to date with our latest adventures. As you're probably aware, Berlin, Germany's capital, is in the northeast of the country, which of course you can fly into. However, we're on a 4-city road trip, starting at Bremen, heading on to Berlin, back to Hamburg, before finally arriving at Cologne. But for this video we're just interested in Berlin, so let's start with our first market then. And this is Gendarmenmarkt on a cold, wet Monday morning, almost as soon as it had opened. And as you can see, it's not exactly kicking, but it does give you a chance to admire the architecture, with the Deutsche Dom at one end, French Cathedral at the other, and at the back, the concert hall. I guess I also need to mention, for the first time ever, there was an entrance fee for this market. It was only a paltry euro, I think, but it caught us by surprise. Of course, you don't have to visit the markets during the day, and we have a few other things later on in the video that may interest you too, so why not hang around for that? I guess this is our number one tip. If you want to peruse the markets for a gift, then this is the ideal time, without the crowds. It's fair to say these places come to life after dark. This is still Monday night, and as we head towards the weekend the markets get progressively busier. So if you're taking small ones, then maybe plan an earlier part of the week. Now, after a Glühwein or two, if you've avoided picking up yourself a little Christmas gift, well then, well done you. I'm not sure we're that disciplined. And when it comes to food, oh dear. And now we bring you the Berliner Weihnachtsmarkt. In the shadow of the Vereinigungsturm, that's the iconic 1960s viewing platform. Also close by is the Rotes Rathaus, or the Red Town Hall. We like this market. It seems slightly more family friendly, with attractions for the kids, plus there's that fabulous Ferris wheel. And of course, there's that great selection of gifts. There's some really unusual items here, so you can always bring back something unexpected. So as well as being home to these family-friendly rides and the giant Ferris wheel, it's also got the ice rink round the Neptune fountain. Don't worry, they're just preparing the ice. The skaters will be along soon. And for us Brits, plenty of handrails to grasp onto. Actually, I'm tarring everyone with my own brush. I love ice rinks and I love watching people skating, but I can't. Scarred for life after being rescued by a 16-year-old dressed as a giant rabbit. My one and only experience on the ice. and another market during the day, Potsdamer Platz. It would be fair to say that this market didn't really grab us. Obviously during the day it just lacked a little bit of life. So another tip is, if you like the look of a particular market, then make sure you do visit after dark, because then it really does come to life. Another thing I want to point out is that Berlin's markets are reasonably spread out, so you will be using the U-Bahn system there underground to get around. Don't worry, it's straightforward, easy, and felt wonderfully safe. After a morning of discovering, I fancied a beer, and I managed to pick up this cheeky little number. Thanks so much to Janice for modelling it. And the next market is at Alexanderplatz. And as you can probably tell, it was a touch damp, so Janice put away the Osmo. I've captured it with the DSLR, and I've included these shots just so you get an idea of how the market looks. Now, after saying that these markets are spread out, I need to say that this one is within walking distance, a very short walking distance, of the market in front of the Rotos Rathaus. You remember, the one with the ice rink and the Ferris wheel. And on the right hand side of the shop, next to the carousel, you can see the Weltzeitur, or the World Time Clock. And as promised, here's a few of the other things we did with our few spare hours. The first was Checkpoint Charlie, which was an obvious choice as we were staying at the Adina Hotel Checkpoint Charlie, and it's an iconic place from history for people of a certain age. And talking of people of a certain age, we certainly had to visit the Berlin Wall Memorial. On our TVs, we saw this horror from history fall before our very eyes. I have to be honest, I was a little ignorant of the facts around the Berlin Wall, but a visit here and understanding how it impacted people's lives really brought it into focus. It's easy to follow the story of how this horror divided families and communities. It was immensely touching to see this memorial to those who lost their lives trying to cross the wall. And the sad thing is, some of them at the very end were within 6 months of the fall of communism. I think it's obvious, but it's free to visit the memorial site. Another place to visit, and also free of charge, is the Reichstag. I'll pop a link in the description to help you with that, as you need to pre-register and provide identification on arrival. You book a time slot, but it's so straightforward. Now, this tour comes with a free audio guide that, as you walk up along the circular stairway, provides you with a description of the Berlin skyline. The amazing dome structure, which allows you to peer down into the debating hall, was designed by Sir Norman Foster, and this was one of the highlights of our tour of Berlin, and we need to thank our barman Norbert for recommending this as something to try. And if you're wondering where the Reichstag is, it's just a short walk from the Brandenburg Gate, which of course is another must-see. We had a great time in Berlin, and we'd love to return one day, perhaps when it's a little warmer. Our next stop is going to be Hamburg, and I'm now going to pop up a link to that video so you can see how the different markets vary. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and happy travels.